Welcome aboard. I'm Glenn Poplemke, your host for this Texas Outdoors video production of the game. We are in the Port Isabel, South Padre Island area of Texas and fishing the lower Laguna Madre. It's June, the air temperatures have been in the 90s, water temperatures in the 80s, and the winds have been moderate. The tides have been exceptionally high, bringing good clear water into this bay system. We're fishing out of the Fingers in Port Isabel. This is a unique area that allows fishermen and boaters easy access directly from their lodging into the Laguna. There are numerous places to stay in Port Isabel with a fair number directly on the Fingers canals. Several RV parks are also located on the Fingers. We're operating out of the Oyster Cove condos. We will be fishing a number of areas in Laguna Madre that include the Laguna Heights Flats, Laguna Vista Flats and Lake area, the East Flats, Gaswell Flats, Holly Beach area, the Flats Barton Intercoastal Waterway, Mosquito Flats, and South Bay. We will be primarily using hardware, top waters and plastics being our key baits. Come along now and enjoy some great fishing action. To give you some idea of where we're fishing in the Port Isabel area, I've kind of laid out this map, and this is the Fingers area right here in Port Isabel. It's laid out just like some fingers. We come out of the Fingers and head directly out into the bay. It's a very short trip out into the Laguna Heights. As you head northwest out of the Fingers, directly coming out of the channel there, you'll go into the Laguna Heights Flats area. This area is probably about 2 miles from the entrance of the Fingers. Most of this water in here is 3, 4, 5 foot of water. What you're looking for here is the color changes. It's a very clear area, a lot of grass, but then you do run into some sandy areas. So you're looking for color changes, and as you head east out of the Laguna Heights area, you'll head toward the Intercoastal Canal, and this runs you into an area called the Long Bar. This is a long spall bank area that's very shallow. Area. Great morning fishing here. A lot of redfish, trout caught on this area right in this on these flats here. Heading further to the north, you've got the Laguna Vista Cove and Laguna Vista Flats out here. You've got Laguna Vista Lake, which is a great red fishing wade area. Moving further to the east, then you've got the Holly Beach area. We fished a lot in that area, and then a little further out from the Holly Beach, you've got some more of the north area that we fish. A lot of good drift fishing in this area. As you head east to the eastern shoreline off of South Padre Island, you'll come into an area that we call north of the Conference Center. This area is a very, very clear area. Hardly ever muddies up. A lot of grass, a lot of sand in this area. And mainly what you're looking for here is to try to fish a sand hole. Moving back to the south, we've got the Mosquito Flats area, which is located just south of Port Isabel. This entire shoreline here is great morning fishing. This is all mangrove trees in here, and these flats hold a lot of trout and redfish early in the morning. Look for a very high tide to fish these areas. We're moving into South Bay right now. South Bay is one of the real shallow bays. You move in through here. There are a number of guts up in the front. We fish the back end of this thing. There's some creeks that come in back here. You can come straight from the front entranceway here, come straight to the back, run this back shoreline up the back side. Just be careful. There's some oyster reefs up in here you got to be careful about. And also, then if you move back to the south, there's some south flats in here, and a lot of people fish this. Good trout fishing in this area. Move back out to the front. There's these deep guts up in here that you can fish with a deeper hull boat. You don't need a shallow water boat to fish this, but Just be careful. This is a great bay to fish, but it's also a pretty treacherous bay at times because of the shallow water.
We're on camera this morning.
You mean it's working? Well, I'm preparing for a big time fish. It's called rigging up. This is the killer bait right here. Called a paddle-tail gambler. Glenn fishes with a zillion lures. This is it. This is all I fish with.
Not a jillion, just 5 or 6 different ones. That's true.
May have to net him himself, but you know how that goes. A big trout. I fish for several reasons. Most of all, I cherish the time it allows with my friends and the time it allows me to be out in God's fantastic creation. Just rewind those sunrises and you'll know what I'm talking about. Fishing is a challenge. It's a game. Mike McBride, who operates Skinny Water Adventures out of Port Mansfield, Texas, wrote an article in the August issue of the Gulf Coast Connection entitled Got Game. He states that fishing is much more than filling those Ziplocs with fillets. The real meat of the matter is how we play the game. Fishing can be a simple or a very complex endeavor. How we approach it determines the type of game we play. Artificials tend to raise the bar. So what is a game? To play it, you got to be in it, and that takes confidence, drive, patience, tenacity, and many times athletic exertion. It's a total mission of discovery, stalk, and capture. Each morning as you idle out of the harbor, motivation comes from one simple question. What will be the game plan for today? There are lots of ways to put meat on the table, and I enjoy fresh fish as much as the next. But we can get meat almost anywhere. So what do we get out of this game besides full Ziplocs? Hopefully lots of memories and a challenge that is established by our last outing. Our experiences from this game are never ending. They are in our dreams, our relationships, our wallets, and our lives. You got game? I'm with Damon Ankerman this morning, my good friend from Spring, Texas. And we're out here on the Laguna Vista Flats. I should say maybe the Laguna Heights Flats. Actually, we're between Laguna Vista and Laguna Heights. We're fishing about 3 foot of water. We've got a strong incoming tide this morning, and we've been connecting with some pretty good fish here. In fact, Damon's got a good one on right now, and wind has laid a little bit, and so we're really, in fact, this is a tremendous trout. Looks like about a 28, maybe 29 inch trout, and it got off, and in the process, the lure came loose and hit me right in the eye. You can see right here where the tail came off. Anyway, we're going to continue to chase after these trout and see what we can do today. You can see right here we're in about 3 foot of water on the recorder, and a little bit here I'm going to give you the coordinates of where we're located here in Laguna Heights Flats. That's a good stringer fish, Damon.
Is that pretty or not? That is beautiful.
Got one fish there that'll go about nearly 24, and And the rest of these are good,
good solid trout.
good solid trout. We got a limited. I'm fishing with my good friend Don Scoggins. Don is a resident of San Benito, Texas, and has been in the valley all his life. He runs a nursery over in the Harlingen area, and he and his grandson are with me today. And by now he's hooked up to a pretty good redfish. And Don is an outstanding fisherman. He fishes a lot out of the arroyo and catches a lot of redfish in the arroyo area. And I'm just looking for him to show me some things today here on the Laguna Madre down here around Port Isabel. He and I have fished together before down here, and he always seems to be able to put it on me and catch a few more fish than me. But maybe today I can do a little bit better than him. Like I say, it's always great to have a kid on board your boat, take a kid fishing, especially one that can net fish. We've got Don's grandson here, and he does one heck of a job netting these redfish for us. This morning I'm with my brother-in-law, David Wood, and we're fishing the Laguna Vista Flats. David resides in Huntsville and tends to dabble in the music world. He's one of those wannabes, and we've nicknamed him Top of the Chart Wood. He and my sister have in the past years joined us here in Port Isabel to fish and enjoy the amenities of the area. This year they decided to join us for the month. David even purchased a new boat for the occasion. He wanted to buy a Gulf Coast, but gave in to his wife and purchased a Blue Wave. She liked the neat decal on the sides. Today he decided to let it rest and fish out of a good boat. We're fishing plastic this morning, and most of our fish are being taken on the red and white Trout Killer 2s. We're fishing in about 4 foot of water, and there are numerous sand holes located in this area. The trout seem to be holding along the edge of these holes. We're working bait slowly, allowing it to drop into the holes, and these trout are picking up the jig as it drops. Now here's another Pretty good trout. Did the same thing, allow it to drop, and they seem to pick it up on the drop nearly every time. Uh-oh, what do you know? Even a wannabe can catch a fish every now and then. Come on, you Western singer, let's see what you can do. David, top of the chart wood.
Alright, do another one.
Let's put a mic on.
Put a fish on.
Oh, man, fish on. I'm here this morning with my son and nephew. My nephew, Robert Germany, is a Texas Highway Patrolman and works narcotics out of Huntsville. We call him Super Cop. Robert doesn't get a lot of time on the water, but really enjoys every moment he's out here. And most of all, he's a pretty good fisherman. We're on the Laguna Heights Flats this morning and then been picking up some really good trout. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. We've had a good tide and the water's fairly clear. A few minutes ago, the water began erupting and schools of jacks moved in chasing mullet. I encouraged Martin and Robbie to put on top water and try for a hookup. We started chasing the schools with a trolling motor, but it was hard for these two to reach the school, so I had to go into the game. I quickly scored. As mullet began to break the surface, I put my skidder walker into the pot and was rewarded by several explosive blowups and a hookup. Many people scorn the jackfish, but they're one of the most sporting fish in the sea and are many times very easy to catch. They're extremely powerful and hard to hook due to their bony mouths. Once hooked, they're difficult to subdue. This fish that I've got on is probably only about 10 pounds, but fights like a 30-pounder. In the shallow water, all they can do is make long runs, which is very similar to the redfish. It's a real kick to see these baits tearing the mullet schools. They remind me of the big redfish busting bait. You can almost be assured that if you get a lure into the excitement, the jackfish will surely try to relieve you of your lure. Try it. You might just become a jackfish addict. This jackfish making some really good runs here. I'm fishing with a Corrado reel. Got 20-pound Power Pro line on it, and got it mounted on a American Rod Smith titanium rod. Does a really good job on these fish, and I really like the way it handled. It's a good light rod. You can cast it all day long without getting really tired. Hopefully I'm about to bring this fish to the net here. We should be able to see it here in a few minutes. Get one of these boys to put a net under it. Keep that camera rolling back there, Martin. We want to get all this action on film. Look out, here he comes, here he comes. There he is. He's on his side. It won't take him long to come in now. In the net. Thank you, Robbie. All right. Good morning, and it's a beautiful morning. We're leaving the Archer Cove condos here in the Fingers area of Port Isabel. I'm with my stepson, Martin Middleton. He's going to fish with me today, and I just say that those of you that are looking for a condo to rent down here, check out Archer Cove. It's got access to the water, and you're only about 15 minutes from some really good fishing areas. Takes us about 15 minutes to run out into the Laguna Heights area, and this morning it's very, very calm. We've had hardly no winds at all, and we're looking forward to going over to Longboard this morning to see if we can't catch a redfish or two. So come on along and watch this beautiful sunset that we're experiencing right now.
Shorter than the other Martin back there. How you doing back there, Martin? Catching a lot of fish, aren't we? It's one of those days that you dream about and pray for, and then all of a sudden when you get one of them, you say, God, man, we need wind. About 9:30 in the morning, and we're sitting out here and it is flat. Trolling motor's quit. We can't hardly get any drift. Picked up a few little bitty trout. Really clear water right now. That's probably right there. One of the most important pieces of equipment that a fisherman can have is his boat. These days there are so many different types and brands of boat that it makes it very difficult to decide what will work for you. Just go to a boat show and you'll leave even more undecided and confused. I wanted a boat that would allow me to run the skinny water but still be safe in the rough stuff. I run a 21-foot flats cat. This boat has a catamaran type hull and a tremendous tunnel that allows it to run in about 6 inches of water. I run a 90 horse outboard, and this 21-footer will top out at about 35 miles per hour. We have a lot of floating grass in Laguna Madre this month, and I've experienced problems with my motor collecting grass. Be aware of this anytime you run in shallow grassy areas. Check that intake on your outboard consistently. So if you really want to get in the game, get you a boat that will get you into the skinny stuff. Now we're back in the Holly Beach area this morning, and it's a great morning. It's calm, very little wind, and we've got this whole Holly Beach area back in here to ourselves, and we're trying to see if we can't get a little action from topwaters here, especially try to get some on film. I'm here with my two brother-in-laws. Up there in the front of the boat is David, top of the chart wood, and in the back here is Don, what the hell Rink. David works for John Deere, and Don is with the Beaumont School District. We've been working these trout this beautiful morning with these topwaters, and we've had some great action. And after catching several, I decided to man the camera and see if I could get a blow-up or two on film. Now this is Don Rink down here. Come on guys, we need a blow up. I have to get back down and show you how it's done. David, you want to run the camera? Come on guys, I'm getting tired sitting up here. Oops, there he is. Oh, he missed it. Slow it down a little bit there. Oh, there you go. All right. Looked like you got a good hook up there. Looked like you got a good solid fish there. Making a run like a redfish. What you got there, Rink? Hold on, boy. Hold on. Watch that vocabulary now. Don't let any of them bad words come out. Making a few jumps out there. I'm not sure what you got on. That might be a trout. I don't know. Sure is pulling. What'd you say there, Don? Don't make this an X-rated movie now. Watch your language. Not sure what you've got on. You've either got a good trout or redfish. Sure making some good runs there. Oh, it looks like it. No, okay. I see what you got now. You thought you had a trout, but looked like you got a big old skipjack right there. That's a pretty good skipjack, Don. That's almost close to being a trophy skipjack. That's a big, big skipjack. You're gonna take that home, put it on the wall, son. That'd be a good mount. Yeah, those skipjacks, another one of those fish that we scorn a lot, but they sure do save the day sometime when we're fishing out here. They jump a lot, they hit hard, and they really, really do put up a good fight.
Oh, all right, redfish.
I thought you had a redfish too there for the way it made that run and didn't jump.
We're headed to South Bay this morning to do a little weight fishing. The South Bay is located to the south of the Laguna Madre and is a very unique estuary. It's an extremely shallow bay with a majority of water only about 2 feet deep. There are a few deeper guts in the bay, and you always see boats fishing these guts. It takes a very special boat to run this bay. It's also crisscrossed with oyster reefs, which can make it hazardous. This is one of the few areas on the Texas coast that you can catch a snook. It's really known for its red fishing and its big trout. It is truly a place where you will hit a home run or strike out. We're headed to the far western corner of this bay where there's a creek that comes in. There's a number of reefs up there. Last year I connected with a 30-inch snook that blew up on a topwater under a mangrove tree, and took the lure into the tree, hung there for a second, and shook off. I continued to watch this big fish as he slowly swam off into the grass, and I shook a little bit also. Sure would like to connect again. My advice is to get a local guide to fish this bay. It can pay some big dividends.
Well, we want to fish just like you. No, it couldn't be me. I've never been to Madre with you yet. So it sounds like something I'd do. So why don't you put the anchor out, Glenn?
Oh, hole right there. Oh, another hole right there.
I want to take a few minutes to thank you for watching this production of Texas Outdoors Video. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed making it. I need to thank the wives of those guys who fished with me for allowing them to get out of the house. Special thanks to my lovely bride Patsy, who we call Lolly, for her continued support in my endeavors. If you are planning on traveling to the Port Isabel or South Padre Island and need additional information, feel free to contact me. My contact numbers and email are listed at the end of this video. This area is full of history and a great family vacation area. There are lots of things to do, but please don't come down here without making arrangements to fish. In addition to the great inshore fishery, there's an offshore fishery second to none. All you have to do is ask the coach to put you in the game.